if you came to the US, United States, with a non-immigrant visa. Non-immigrant visas like the F1 visa, J1, B1, B2, which is a tourist visas, or a student visa like F1 visa, and you applied for the lottery last year and you won, you don't need to fill the DS-260. The DS-260 is for winners or selectees or people who are selected who are outside the US. If you're already in the US and you came with a visa, you need to fill I-485. We call it I-485. That's adjust your status. So if you're F1, your status here is what? An F1 student visa. That's your status. You're F1 student visa. You're on a F1 visa. So what you're going to do is what? You're going to adjust it or switch it from F1 to permanent residence.
Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is OFFEIBEA'SVLOG. On this channel, we talk about career, education, and lifestyle. If these are subjects that are of interest to you, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. So the diversity lottery for 2023 will be released on May 7th. Because of this, today we are talking about diversity lottery. We are talking about the basic information you don't need to pay someone to understand. We are having an interview with Joshua, and I wouldn't want to talk much. Please watch this video to the end. Thank you. Hi, Joshua. Joshua is going to tell us everything you should know about the diversity lottery. He has a lot of information to share. So, Joshua.
As I said earlier, my name is Joshua and I'm the CEO of JC Consults. You can find me on all other social media platforms. And for the past 3 years now, I've been able to help or assist a lot of students, or not even only students, every like whether students or not students. If you're interested in the lottery, by the grace of God, I've been able to get winners. My first winner, which is 3 years ago, she landed in. We applied 3 years ago. She won last 2 years, and last year she got her visa. So she came here last year, November. She got her appointment in June. She was scheduled for an interview in I think September, and her visa was approved in September. And I think that time I was in the US, yeah, because I went for my interview in July and I was approved. I traveled in August. She went in September, and she traveled to the US in November. So she has been able to arrive in the US successfully. We went through all the visa application process. She was scheduled. I trained her for the mock interview, and she went for the interview. And by God's grace, she has been granted the visa. And last year too, I also got a winner. And with him, it was a guy, and with him, um, we've been able to submit the visa application, and I even sent an email to KCC, which is the Kentucky Consular Center, to monitor if he's going to be scheduled for an interview, because not everyone who applied for the visa application will be what's scheduled. The earlier, the better. They do it first come, first serve. So, and one thing that really delays most people um, not to submit it early because of host. Yeah, and if I say host, what do I mean by host? Host is someone in the US that you know that you're going to stay with, and when you get here, it will take like 3 months for you to get a green card. And with a green card, when you get here and your green card is being sent, you're going to send it to the mail, and the mail, which is the person they're going to stay with, they're going to use his address or her address to send you your green card. The green card is just a normal like Ghana card with your name, your bio, personal information, your name, date of birth, and some few details about you and your picture. Yeah, that's the green card. So they will mail it to through that person's address. So by most people win the lottery and they don't have a host. They don't know anybody. They don't have a friend. They don't know any relative. They don't know anyone. So it becomes very challenging when it comes to code. They are now trying to talk to other people, pastors, their friends, relatives, that if they know anybody in the US to assist them, get their details, which is their name and their address, to fill for the host section. Because the DS-260 is the visa application that you fill when you win the lottery. It's very simple. It's like DS-160. It's about your personal information, your name, date of birth, what you're doing. If you're going to school, you fill your school details, the program you are doing. If you're working, your work experience, like whatever job you've done, you just fill it, and your parents' name, your parents' date of birth, like simple personal information about you. But the only challenging part is the host.
Okay.
So by God's grace, I met this man, and he's willing to accept anybody who is not who is finding it difficult to get a host. Yeah. So if you win the lottery and you don't have a host, just contact me, and we will try and assist you to get
Okay.
the details to submit your application.
Okay, so let's start from what you need to apply for the diversity lottery.
The basic requirement is that you should have completed senior high school at the time of application. Because last year I knew people, I think the registration always starts in October of every year. So every year, October, I think the first week of October, I think last year we started registration on 6th of October and ended on what? I think 9th of November. It's more like a 1 month registration period. And you need to have completed senior school. I think there were senior high school students who were in final year, they wanted to apply. But since they had not graduated, they have not completed. I couldn't register them. Because at the
Okay.
time of application, they were supposed to graduate in November. So I can't register them. But if you are done, you have a senior high school certificate. That is the minimum requirement. Whatever, it doesn't matter your age. Once you have a senior high school certificate, you can apply. And with the application, it's just your personal information, your name, date of birth. They used to take passport, but right now they've taken out the passport requirement. So your passport number, expiry date, they don't need it when you are registering. So it's just the email address, whether you've traveled to the US before or not, whether you are married or not, like personal information, and you submit it. You go to dvprogram.state.gov. That's the official website to register. You go there and you submit your application. And the following year, May. So as I'm talking to you, this year, the results will be released next week, Saturday, which is 6th of May. This coming Saturday's week. That is when the results are going to be released. And when the results are out, it's very easy. You go to dvprogram.state.gov, then you just go and check with the personal
Confirmation.
information they used to fill. Okay, so after you submit the application, they're going to give you a confirmation number. So you're going to use that to what? Um, Check if you're able to what win, or you are selected, or what you are not selected. Yeah. So if you are not selected, after you're able to put in all your name, your date of the email address, and your confirmation number, and you submit it, you're going to get the results whether you were selected or not. If you are selected, you're going to get an official letter with your address that you used, your address, or like your house address. They're going to ask you when you're applying. So your house address will be on the top right corner. Then the US consular will be like a formal letter, and they'll tell you that congratulations for winning the what or being selected for the DV lottery. Then they will start writing. They are very honored that you were being selected among blah 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 blah. So when you come down, your confirmation number will be there, and there's something called case number. Case number. Anyone who wins who wins the lottery or being selected, they have a special number we call case number. So the case number is what you're going to use to fill the visa application, which is called the DS260. And the case number is unique among all the winners. But if you're from Africa, I think there's an AF. It starts with an AF, something like that. Yeah. Then your number will continue. Yeah. So, but there's this thing about them. When your case number is it start from 1 to 5,000, your chances of being scheduled for interview is very high. Yes. If your case number is between 1 and 5,000. If you're beyond 5,000, so 5,000, 30,000, 40,000, 20,000, that one it delays because it looks like if you have an early, because my first winner had 3,000, her case number was 3,000. And we submitted the application around, that was when I was done with my sister's funeral. So we submitted around July. Yeah, and by God's grace, I think a year time, which is around the same June, July there, she got an appointment that she has been scheduled for a date. Yeah, so her case number was good, 3,000, and we were able to submit it early. Most of the results come in May. But me and I advise that since right now we are putting out this information across, just talk to somebody, get a host, let the host give you their details. So that day that you win, that day submit it. Submit it, whether your case number is 5,000 or beyond 5,000. Make sure you submit it early so that you do what? Students are filling DS160, which gives them information about you, that they're a traveler. It gives information, got your date, your house address, your date of birth, your parents' details, where you stayed, where all the places you have ever lived in Ghana. They will take all, like, it's about your, since you were born, even where you were born, number one, like the city where you're born, where you live currently, the job you are, so everything about you is, so they want to get information about you, because you want to come into their country and become a citizen of the US. So they need information about you and where you're going to stay. So where you're going to stay in the US, which is, that's what we call the host. Yeah, so that's basically about that.
So now I have applied, I have gotten it, I have logged in, gotten the confirmation number.
Especially when you have a host, the host will send you their name, or they will, even you're on filling the DSTs, they ask you the name of your host, the address of the host, and the job that your host is doing. So these are the basic information that you should know. Yeah. So if you're able to get all these details and you submit your DS260, the next thing is to be monitoring your email to get your appointment. See, students with the student visa, you need to be struggling to get the no. You are coming to, you are very soon you become a US citizen. So they don't really stress you. So you just need to relax, sit home, just be monitoring your email on your phone to check whether you've been scheduled for an interview or not. But because of the COVID, mostly it used to take like 6 months for you to be scheduled. But right now, because of the COVID, they've gotten backlogs. Because that time the embassy was closed, there were people that they were supposed to process. They had to delay them, so they got backlogs. So because of that, mostly every year, my client, like the first one, it took her 1 year before because she used to come, Josh, are you sure it will come? Josh, are you sure I'm going to? And I said, oh, don't worry, relax, things will be fine. One day I was there when she sent a screenshot and she has been scheduled. So she went to do medicals, and when you're being scheduled, the date for your interview will be there, and they'll attach a PDF where you should go. You get there's a particular hospital that they would like you to go there and do your medicals. Yeah, because they believe in that hospital. So you go there, they take a blood sample, they run, then they give you a result. And the result, they staple it. You're not able to access it. So you add those documents to the document that you need to go submit at the embassy on your interview day. And I think
Okay.
you need a police report as well. So you have to go to the Ghana Police Services. Then I think you go to crime and what. Then you're gonna get your, what do you call it, your report. These are one of the documents that you yeah.
When you fill the DS260, you wait to be scheduled. Once you get the confirmation for your scheduled date, you go and do medicals, and then you also get a police report, and then you use it
Exactly.
for your visa interview, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So are these
Plus the
documents
medical report.
so
Yeah.
has there been instances where people have been denied because of maybe the medical report or the police report?
Oh yes.
Okay.
You see, sometimes when people are applying for the lottery, they'll tell them that they applied as single, but they will later come back and for the interview, they'll come that day. When you're filling the GST, the visa application, they'll tell them that they are married, which is something that we mostly people do that when they get married immediately. Some even people marry their sisters, their cousins, or even their aunties, just for them to go for the interview for them to also be granted the green card. And it has been going on. And see, these people, they really, really love statistics. They make statistics of everything. Because how come that every year all the people who applied as single, they all come back for the interview and they're telling that they are
As
married.
married,
So
right?
at least, yeah, these people, they are very smart and they make analysis. So they realize that most people do that just for the visa sake. Definitely, there are people, because we registered the lottery in October. I can have a fiancé. We register because that time of registration, we were not married, so we were single. So we applied as separately single. But let's say we married in December. It's possible we can do that. So if I win in May and we are filling the visa application, I can say that I'm married. But it shouldn't be that every year all the single people who register as single, they're all coming back for the interview and they're all married. It doesn't make sense. Though these people are smart. People who do that, they get denied. They get denied. Yes. And some people they will register as a family. Oh, I have a husband or I have a wife, I have 2 kids. But when they are going for the interview, they add their sister's kids or their brother's kids to add to making 4. Meanwhile, when you're registering, you said you have two, but you come with 4 children because they will deny you. So whatever if you feel you are single, if you are going for the DS1 or your interview, go as single. Whatever you feel, just go with the same details. Don't change anything. And if you do that, when you go, and there are situations like when you have failed in your essay, your WASI. Some people after their senior high school they couldn't continue, so the only certificate they have is their WASI. And in the WASI, if you have failed papers, DF like D7, E8, F9, in some of your, especially English or Maths, because definitely you're going to speak English in the US and you have failed it, and definitely whatever job they're doing, you're gonna be paid. You need to have to do Maths. You failed Maths, they're going to use that to deny you.
Okay.
You understand? But if you're able to, so my way now like this, my second way now, he failed in English and literature. So I asked him to go and reset it. So if you're able to reset and you correct them, you can add the two and take it. And they're going to, or probably if you completed high school and you're able to further, let's say you went to K University or you had a tertiary education, and with that one you had better grades, they can compensate it and see that, oh, this guy didn't do well in high school, but and he furthered his education, he did well. They can give it to you, but you are going with only the WASI and you have failed. You need to go and reset them. If you don't do that, they're going to deny you. Yeah. So these are some of the instances they can use to deny you.
Denied.
Yeah.
So once you get the visa, the rest of the process is like just anyone coming to abroad, right? You have to get your plane ticket and then you come
Yes.
to
Yeah.
the
So
host.
then you definitely you have to go and stay with your host because that's where the green card is going to be. That's when they are communicating with, they are sending any document. That is where it's going to go through. So if you go and you don't end up staying your host, you need a green card to work. You need it to work because that's the major document that every work will ask of it, and your social security. So that's where they're going to mail them to. So it's advisable that you live with your host. And let me put this across. If you came to the US, United States, with a non-immigrant visa, non-immigrant visas like the F1 visa, J1, B1, B2, which is a tourist visas, or a student visa like F1 visa, and you applied for the lottery last year and you won, you don't need to fill the DS260. The DS260 is for winners or selectees or people who are selected who are outside the US. If you're already in the US and you came with a visa, you need to fill I-485. We call it I-485. That's adjust your status. So if you're F1, your status here is what? An F1 student visa. That's your status. You're F1 student visa. You're on a F1 visa. So what you're going to do is what? You're going to adjust it or switch it from F1 to permanent residence. So there's no need to fill DS260. You just
Okay.
fill well, already the details are with them. Well, as I say, the DS260 have your personal details. They're going to ask you your personal. Because you fill DS160 for F1 visa, you already your information, and even B1, B2, which is the business or tourist visa, you still have to fill DS160. So they already have your information, but you are filling that to adjust your status. You are changing it from what F1. God, they already your details are already in their system. And that's the mistake. So if you're a student and you go and fill DS260, you'll be there. You'll never be scheduled. You'll be there waiting. That's it. And if you fail it, that's it. You have to apply for the lottery again because you've lost that chance. And this is a precious opportunity. If you miss it, that's it. So please, if you are a student or you traveled on a J1, B1, don't fill DS260. Yours is I-485. And you can access DS260 and I-485 on the travel.state.gov, which is the official website of the US government. Travel.state.gov. That's where you're going to find it. So you go there, you assess it, you fill it, then they're going to schedule you for an interview. Then you go there and you tell them, oh, you came as a F1 student visa, you won the lottery. And that's it. What program are you? What school? They will ask you a few questions and they tell you, you've been approved. Welcome to America. You are now an American citizen. Your green card will be sent to your email. And that's it. Yeah.
So what else do you think we should know about this whole process? I think the process is pretty clear from what you have said. So what else do you think we should know about it?
So everybody who has applied, I wish you well.
Yeah.
And
Thank
hopefully
you
next
for
week you all be winners. In Jesus'
thank
name, amen.
thank you for that informative session. I hope this helps someone out there. If you have applied, the results are coming next week, so you can start checking. If you want to contact Joshua to I can put his email under the description and then the link to his YouTube channel, JC Consult, and then you can speak to him directly. Thank you, Joshua, for coming. I really appreciate this.
You're welcome.